to Hot Boxing Talk, South Africa's very own online boxing talk show. This is the 11th episode for 2016, and we spoke to Ryno the Lineal Liebenberg, as well as Xolisani, Ndongeni, as well as having a weekly chat with Cyril and Hayden. This is the 11th episode for 2016 of Hot Boxing Talk. Joining us here on Hot Boxing Talk, we have the IBO lightweight champion of the world, 20-0, Xolisani Ndongeni. Nomeva is known, everyone knows him as Nomeva. You're fighting at the Orient Theatre, your home place, your hometown. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be at that event because I'm going to be in Sweden with Ryno. But what can their fans expect from the IBO lightweight champion of the world on the 22nd of April?
We're going Israel again. So, November is always winning the fights, but then this one, I want to make it clean because, as you know, that this is a ticket to Las Vegas, so we have to make sure that it's clean.
Yeah, and that was my next question to you. Is there a lot of pressure on you now? I mean, you know, the one fighter from Golden Gloves was pulled off an event in America because he didn't perform so well. Is the pressure on now?
No, I don't have pressure because of I know what I'm capable of. I know my boxing cues. I know I know how to box. I know what to do in the ring. So I don't feel pressure from anything that is being said and or what is going to happen after the fight. But I know I'm just going to make my fight clean, and then I'm going to win it the way I want to. I want to win it. I want to win it because I don't know the guy. But
Emiliano Norfat, yeah, he's 25-7, 19 knockouts. Not much is known about him. He's from Tanzania, but this is a must-win fight for you, isn't it?
He is good for me. Every fight I fight is a must-win fight because I always fight to win, so it's a must. I have to win. So Emilio is going to be my 21st win in my 25th fight of.
You know, I pretty much know the Nomeva song pretty much off by heart now. A lot of the Joburg fans are starting to know the Nomeva song. Please God, you're successful. Are you going to walk out in America to the Nomeva song?
Yeah, Nomeva is everywhere I go.
Well, you've heard it from the IBO lightweight champion of the world, Xolisani, Nomeva, Ndongeni, right here on Hot Boxing Talk. It's that time of the week where I have the two gentlemen by my side, Hayden and Cyril. Welcome to Hot Boxing Talk. Does feel weird every time I welcome you to the show, considering we're all part of the show. Okay, Charles Martin, Anthony Joshua is a massive weekend. It's a massive fight for UK boxing. And also Pacquiao, Bradley 3. Let's talk about the heavyweight showdown, your pick and why.
Anthony Joshua for the pick this weekend. Knockout, not early because Charles Martin, southpaw, a bit awkward. He's a bit of an unknown to the mass public.
And he can punch.
He can punch. He's got a good knockout record, and he said in his recent thing that he doesn't consider it a win if he doesn't knock his guy out, so we can expect fireworks.
And that's my next question to you, Cyril. He's a southpaw. What kind of problems technically and stance-wise do you think it's going to pose for Joshua?
Well, we haven't really seen Joshua against a really good southpaw. And Charles Martin is not just a southpaw; he's also big, you know. So it's gonna give him problems, and he can bang, as you said. So
the fact that he got buckled against Dylan White shows his vulnerability to a point, which kind of makes him more exciting for the boxing fans.
Absolutely, you know, everyone's a human at the end of the day, and it shows that he can come back from it as well and end up knocking out Dylan White.
Let's talk about that crisis, because he got buckled, he was hurt, there was no question, but he did the right things. He tried to hold more, he didn't try and fight his way out of it. What do you think will happen in a scenario against Charles, for example, who's a southpaw, catches him? Do you think he'll try and fight out of it, or do you think he'll show a little bit more composure than he did the last time and box his way out of it?
I think if he gets buckled again by Charles, he's going to get knocked out. I think Charles Martin is a better finisher, is a better fighter,
and has more experience.
Yes, he has more experience. Yeah.
He's expected to win, and it'll be great for UK and boxing worldwide if Joshua wins. Who should be next and why? I know Tyson Fury's been like yelling and screaming and shouting. Who do you think should be next for him? Because that would be a massive fight if it happens.
You know, I can imagine him against someone like a Kubrat Pulev or something of that level, just below the world champion, just to keep on giving him. You know, the British crowd have got to get their money's worth as well, and he put on a good fight.
It's a third encounter between Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. South Africa unfortunately is not going to be getting the rights. The significance of a third fight between the two gentlemen.
Well, I think it's basically just showing Pacquiao on his way out. I wouldn't be surprised if Bradley was to beat him this time round. I think Pacquiao's he's done. He's had his best days.
So here's the thing, Cyril. If he wins, it's not shocking, but would you be surprised if Bradley beats Pacquiao?
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like I said, I think Bradley could outpoint Pacquiao this time around.
Your opinion, who's going to win that fight?
Actually, a lot of people have Bradley. I have Pacquiao winning that fight. I think that it's going to be a similar thing again. And if Pacquiao wins again, is Bradley going to pull in another injury excuse? He's pulled that from number 1 and number 2. I mean, can it happen again?
Okay, here's a question. The first fight, do you think Bradley won? Did you think he won that fight?
The first fight, no. I thought Pacquiao won, but I don't think it was as wide. It was as clear as everybody made it out to be. I think.
But bearing in mind, Bradley won that controversial decision. My question to you is, do you think Bradley won the first fight?
No.
Do you?
No, absolutely not.
Second fight, no question. Third fight. Oh, here's another question. Do you think Pacquiao, this is his last fight?
Yeah, I do think this is his last fight.
What do you think?
Yeah, but you never know, eh?
It's interesting because I don't. The two gentlemen have spoken about international stuff. This is the Hot Boxing Talk for this week. So joining us here on the Hot Boxing Talk, we have South African light heavyweight champion and a proud member of the Hot Box Gym, Ryno the Lineal Liebenberg. You love your nickname, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we're fighting Eric Skoglund on the 23rd of April. What can Eric Skoglund expect from the Lion?
A fight. He can expect a fight.
He said yesterday in one of the press releases that empty vessels make the loudest noise. What's your response to that?
He says he's never been in a street fight. He didn't grow up on the west end of Gauteng, so I can take it. And in the fight, we're gonna see he's never been in a fight.
So we're going into his hometown, his home, that's his country. You're not going to expect any favors. What's the plan? You want to go the distance or you just want to maul him?
No, I'm gonna bang him out. The money I'm getting for this fight, it's about a 3-round fight, and that's what I plan to make of it.
So 3 rounds or less. Ryno, this is a make or break fight for you internationally. Locally, you've cleaned up the division. Should you win, we're expecting you to win. What's next after this fight for you?
I want to fight a guy called Triple M, also known as Shawnee Monaghan. I call him Triple M, Mickey Mouse Monaghan, because he only fights guys from Disneyland. So yeah. If I win, that's the next step.
So then can we expect a trip to Disneyland?
Once.
Disneyland. That's Ryno the Lineal Liebenberg speaking to us right here on Hot Boxing Talk, the South African light heavyweight champion. He is challenging for the IBF Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship on the 23rd of April in Sweden against Eric Skoglund. Catch him. This is the Lion speaking to us on Hot Boxing Talk. So that's the end of this week's episode of Hot Boxing Talk from myself, Colin Ngannon, Nathan and Hayden Jones. We will see you again next week.